generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. And from David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations. And from the carrying away into Babylon unto the Mashiach are 14 generations. So this 14 generations. 14 generations in between the major points in our history. So the first point would be Abraham, right? So, and this is why it's important. I'm going to speak to you right now. It's important to know these things because it's your history. Matthew 1:1. The book of the generation of Yahawashi, son of David, the son of Abraham. And we'll go to Genesis 17. Generations in between, like it said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I'm going to fall. So I'm in Genesis 17, going on 4 and 5, and I read Matthew 1. Verse 1 and then verse 17. So if you guys, what do you want to give? Matthew 1 and 17. Start to explain because there's a timeline. People are born when they're supposed to be born. Like right now, we're approaching Jacob's trouble. You know, and that's the marker in history and time.
Matthew 1:17. So all the generations of Abraham to David are 14 generations.
Alright, so we're going to stop there. We're going to talk about just those 14 generations. Because people always say, well, they don't believe in the Bible basically. They say, oh, the Bible is just written by man. But it's written by a certain man, a Hebrew man, or the Hebrew man, Israelites. Now, our top we get Genesis 17, start at 4. And it's very important to understand why you are who you are.
Genesis 17 and 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
So right now, Yahawashi is talking to Abraham, and he's about to do, he told him what his plans is. He said, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, what he's about to tell him. But right now he told him that I'm going to make my covenant with you. So keep going.
5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abraham, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee.
Alright, you see there's a difference. His name was Abraham, which means exalted father. And then Yahawashi changed his name to Abraham, which means basically father of the multitude, father of nations. You know, that's why the book of Matthew is so important. Because yeah, people will say, well, it's just the Bible written by men. Yeah, men that have a story to tell to
16 and 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear?
See, so it doesn't matter how old you are. The Lord said you're going to have a kid, you're going to have a kid. You're going to have a baby at this time. And he told him that he's going to come back at the time of life, which means that the angel who's talking to him is Yahawashi, and he's going to come back at night. Abraham was talking to them. He knew that were angels, and he knew who they were. But for us, who don't know him, we haven't seen him, we should entertain strangers, not just because it's the right thing to do, because we might be entertaining with strangers, and we might be getting some messages. So let's get Genesis 18 and 10.
This is Genesis 18 and 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him.
Now that's Yahawashi telling him, look, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come back as a baby, and you guys are going to be my parents. That's God, right? That's God, that's power. He said, look, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to be a baby, and you're going to raise me. Alright, so let's go to Genesis 25 and 23. And then go back to Matthew 1. See? Go ahead.
Genesis 25 and 23. And Yahawashi said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So this is the important part. I mean, it's all important, but this is the critical part, because in between 14 generations, the build-up, the setup, the most crucial part of this promise was being set up, because right here, read that again.
And Yahawashi said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So now two manner of people are coming into her. See, Yahawashi didn't tell Abraham that. He just told him, look, I'm going to be back. So with the promises he makes, he keeps, or he adds stuff if he wants to, and he takes away stuff if he wants to. So, we got to be careful who we ask for. Because right here, two people are coming back. Satan, and then our people. So, 26.
Genesis 25 and 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
So now Jacob, because that's telling you that Esau was born first and twins. And then Esau got his heel grabbed by Jacob, which means the transfer of power. Just going to take it, that's going to be the move right there. Because, if you're someone taking you down, you got to pull their heel up to take them out of balance. And that you see, yeah, that's ready. When you shoot, you just reach back for the heel, pick it up, and counter it.
Especially if they're trying to kick you.
Yeah, you got it again.
Esau, he's trying to kick the Israelites, but Jacob, he's going to catch that heel and flip it.
You see how it moves? The most dramatic part of the fight, just catches whatever. So when he catches for their pottage.
It shows you that Esau, he likes raw meat. He likes to eat red.
It wasn't even cooked yet. It's just like throwing stuff in, throwing meat in, it's all red, it's all bloody.
They have videos on YouTube where eating raw meat.
Yeah, that's meat. Right?
Where it fixes the Bible right here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Fixing that Filipinos, Latinos, the name
Take a look at the sun.
the Lord chose the people on the sun right here. Because the people in Israel, those are not the Jews are not described like that in the Bible.
So they're basically right here. Come and take a look at the sign. Judah is the Negroes, which means Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are the three tribes, southern kingdom. They're all part of Spain. And then the 10 tribes, those are Latinos and Native Americans. So it's right here. The most important thing we can tell you is Esau is. You know who Esau is? Who's Esau?
Since you got the Bible, Esau is Jacob.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. You said you did know.
So you got the Bible.
Yeah, I do. Want to tell you?
Besides, it's so good. Tell me the Bible.
What?
500 years before Jesus Christ.
What are you listening? We're talking about this is 500 years old? That's what you're saying? Are you saying to me that this is only 500 years old? What are you saying? Couple of thousand years before. Remember, we're
It's prophecy. Right? Now I got the religion. Everything is simple. So, Jacob is holy.
I am holding.
I'm not the one who is
I'm holding it.
so before Jesus Christ.
Who's that?
Justification.
Who's that? Who's that? What does the letter J mean? Why are you saying Jesus? Who's Jesus?
Okay, the Lord, you know, the Lord, they didn't call him Jesus, you know that? Because because you said before the Bible, right? Before the Bible, there was no letter J. So how they call him Jesus? Yeah. Well, you guys have a blessed day.
Right? That's why it's important.
The truth hurts. I mean, the truth is true.
The truth you can't negotiate.
Yeah.
It's not like a car. It's not like I'm trying to sell you a car. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he knew back then he was Hebrew. There's no such thing as the letter J, you know. So he knew already, you know. So that's why he said, on the last day,
Just trying to come up with that slick shit.
yeah, that's Esau right there for
That's
you.
Esau, yeah.
And that's good because of your lesson on Esau.
Yeah.
Esau just pulled up.
That's a creepy snake.
Yeah.
You see how he just came up? And what were we talking about? We were talking about he traded up his blessing.
Yeah.
He just came up all sleepy. You know, he could have been, because the niggas are usually too. Niggas is wicked too.
Oh,
So he could have been one who tried, but see how he came? That's that stupid ass slick shit. You know, I know what you're talking about, eh? What am I talking about?
now the 500 years old and he tried to throw that slick shit, you know? But really caught on.
If you want to go before the Bible, we're talking about the letter J then.
Yeah.
But he didn't know I got my slick resistant shoes on, man. I ain't slipping on that shit. But this is important. You know, that was an illustration. The Lord said, you guys are talking about the right stuff. Let me bump it up a notch. It's important to know because I asked him, do you know who Esau is? And he said, yeah, but he didn't know. He didn't know.
We're not trying to get sarcastic or nothing. We just want to just bring it out plain and, bring out the truth plain and simple.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to get slick with his ass, but I caught him. I was like, man, so who's Esau then? You know, you got it. You got the Bible. What the hell does it mean?
I'm asking you, like,
We know he ain't gonna run nothing. So we have to treat him like a baby.
And then A,
yeah, like possible.
they don't know ABC.
A, B,
We're gonna give him that 30 and then 31.
Genesis 25 and 30. Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. For I am faith, therefore was his name called Edom. feeling like how Esau was feeling. He was feeling faith, without no faith.
Man, that's a man without no faith right there. Because he's trying to be cool and everything, but that's cool.
Because right here, Jacob, Esau was trying to steal his blessing, right? So we're telling this brother that he has a blessing for him, He has a blessing, but he's gonna let Esau take it away from him.
And he probably already took, that's what the jab is. And I've been finding out that's the most illegal thing that any dictator could do, is try to get you to take some medical procedure. Now, the states are fighting it, so he might have took that jab, and that's what his faith is.
Yeah.
Might change up his DNA.
Yeah. He could have been some fucking crazy ass pastor at some church. Now he doesn't have no faith.
Yeah.
He lost that connection with the Most High.
That's sad. 331.
At 31, and Jacob said, "Son, this day thy birthright."
Man, see, that's how you know about Jake. Jake is slick. See right there, he was like, "You got it." Yeah, I got it. I'm trying to hook you up with it.
Yeah.
So he came on the reverse side.
Or he couldn't take it.
Once he brought the letter J back then, and then he's like, yeah, that's the truth hurts.
Yeah, the truth is for science. Okay,
That's why science is Noah, right? So he's Noah.
He did one of those things where he tried to swallow it and got lumpy and he's like, I got it out.
Yeah, I seen that too. Pulling over here with old grandpa socks and I already judged him right away. I was like, man, this guy already knows.
See,
That's why I'm saying.
That's fair. He's like, he came with that old grandpa Christianity.
Yeah, you can tell it.
What an idiot. That name spelled JC. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I was like, what are you talking about, JC? After we do all these edifying lessons.
Yeah.
But that's how you get experience so you can answer the question. We were tearing down a sliding glass window and replacing it. You got to get experience in doing that thing so you can have experience. You got to break this down so you can have experience in explaining other things like that. He didn't even want to look at the sign. He didn't even, he was just sitting on his bike. He's like, look at the sign. Look at the sign.
So I think twice. He's still on his bike. Like he was already ready to go because the truth was coming in too much slow that he's like, I gotta get myself ready to go.
And that's how you know they're waiting, because Esau came up to Jacob, and Jacob already knew all these things. I can get this guy right now. I can get him for something. So then he traded up his porridge, and he got his blessing. So let's go to Genesis 32 and 28, and then Exodus 3 and 13. See, it's all crystal clear. There is no hiding from the truth.
You said 32 and 28?
Yes, sir.
And he said, thy name shall be no more Jacob, but Israel, as for a prince, hast thou power with Yahweh and with men, and has prevailed.
There you go. That's a perfect example. So, we prevail against men. So we already knew off the bat. Look at that, guys. He's on something.
Wearing sunglasses when it's fucking foggy as hell.
That just goes to show you that he's blind, because first he didn't know the appearance, then he didn't know the name. So he got a whole different character.
Yeah.
That you're calling on.
See, and then when we wake people up, it's a hard experience for them because we have to peel back their eyes so they can look at the real world.
Take their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we tell him, he wasn't getting out. I told him, look, the Southern Kingdom is black. And we're like, huh? The way you say like that?
Have some enthusiasm,
Yeah. I acknowledge it a little bit. I think.
We're teaching the Bible here.
I don't have patience for movies like that. It's slower than a fucking molasses coming down from a maple tree. That's too slow. You gotta be fast to get on this.
Yeah, because Esau, his lessons was the sword, so he's smart in those race, right? And it's so like the Moabites, right? They're smart in math. But you ever seen a Moabite drive? It's fucking stupid. They drive so stupid. They'll hit every car in the parking lot. They think that they're all like, well, yeah, they're smart in mathematics and shit. But you ever try to conversate with the Moabite? They're just, and then they don't got no spirit. Like, they're stupid. They fucking know how to book cars, but they'll crash that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Esau's dumb as hell, too.
they're all done.
Yeah.
Israel right here, when he got that blessing from the house back, that's how you know that we're the people. We can have nothing and turn it into something.
It seemed like you knew the Bible. Why didn't you defend it? Why didn't you defend what you believed in? Because the scriptures say that the wicked flee when no one pursues it.
Oh, hey, good job.
Hey, we was barely here, barely 3 minutes. Look,
Not even.
Not even. Yeah. I was gonna say probably less than that.
Maybe 2 at the most. Maybe 2.
and you're already fleeing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an apologist, but
You can see those fucking smoke trails coming out the back of his tire. He was going fast. I don't know what possessed him with trouble. Well, the Lord possessed him.
probably left that right there, not for this.
But that's what we're up against, brothers. Because the representation of Esau coming up for that fire list, stupid ass Christians coming up to the blessing. They don't understand. They come up and you got it. Nigga, you're still here. Why you fucking riding a bike with your sunglasses on? There's no sun out. That's just amazing. But what did he say? So he conflicted himself. He said, they were talking about Jesus 500 years before he came. Like, oh no, I mean, they're talking about him 3,000 years before that. Yeah. So Exodus 3 and 13, that's the one.
Yeah.
Exodus 3:13, and Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The Most High of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
What is his name? Can you tell? That's the most important part. And the name is not JC. Because J has history. And if it has history, you can point to where it began.
Yeah, this is Romans 16 and 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord, Yahawashi myself, but their own belly. And by good words and fair speeches, deceive the hearts of the simple.
Man, that's really simple.
So what point was that guy trying to make that the Bible came out 500 years before the Lord came?
Yeah, I was trying to get at it.
What point is that? They're trying to tell you who is freaking Esau.
Hey, but that's what they do. They switch it to somewhere and they switch. That's what the Christians do. They go jump onto another thing. You can forget about the thing that they were talking about before.
That's very deceitful. They'll deceive somebody else very easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Come on, man. He's just a dusty old bone full of green dust.
Pineal gland.
It looks like a fucking raisin. It's all fucked up.
Calcified, all covered,
It looked like that helmet he was wearing. That might have been his penis wearing. Can you get Genesis, what was it?
The same 132.
No, Matthew 1 and start at 1 and read 2:6.
The first back, Matthew 1, right?
Yeah.
The book of the generation of Yahawashi Mashiach, the son of David and the son of Abraham.
So right there it's telling you that he had a father. Yahushua had a father. So that his father had a father. His father's father, such and such. And just explain it. That was the lesson. Keep going.
Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judah and his brother.
So that's the most important part right there. Because Judah got the blessing. Our Messiah is going to come through the line of Judah. Go ahead.
Judah begat Perez and Zerah of Tamar, and Perez begat Ezra, and Ezra begat Aram.
So from right there, all those births up until before, read 7.
And Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abel, and Abel begat Asa.
So they went all the way to King David. That's why it's important. It went all the way up to King So we don't celebrate it. We don't.
You're celebrating their death, the slaughter.
Yeah. Jeremiah 36:4. Then Jeremiah called Baruch, the son of Ner, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Most High, which he had spoken to him upon the roll of a book. Perfect. Baruch, also has his own, not his own, but has a book in the Apocrypha.
So he's telling you that Jeremiah wrote it for Baruch. And then you can explain that even further, that these people are the only ones that are going to get the promise of salvation.
Yeah.
So that should break a lot of hearts. Maybe that's why it took off so fast. He didn't want to get his heart broken.
He don't want to be confounded, because he knew. You see how it's set up right here?
He was having a good day. Then he fucked up. He got to be worse than Mormon type bullshit. And I know they noticed me first. Because I'm like, oh man, shut the hell up. What are you talking about? I've been here before. Trying to be smart. See, if you go to a conference and they're talking about doctor stuff, and you're going in there talking about, oh, can you use your tape measure? Just be like, next time. You can't put a tape measure inside of your body. And it's just the same way.
Yes, we want to restrict the Old Testament,
He's not specific. He's not detailed. I want to get this and close off on this. This is Revelation 19 and 15. And God has now chosen a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahawah. So you have to understand what's going to happen. So when all these deaths start happening, you ain't bugging out like that. Christian on the light. So that was my lesson.
That's the spirit of it. What I want to speak upon today is reincarnation.
Hey.
Our people don't believe in reincarnation. Because I was someone too that didn't believe so until this brother broke it down to me. And I was like, oh, you know what? It doesn't make sense. And our people need to believe in reincarnation because it's in the scriptures, It's in the scriptures. And I wanted to get
our forefathers coming back.
But that's the thing, our people, when I remember when I was in the world, when the first thing that reincarnation, it was the Indians, they died, they believed in spirits go to animals. So that made me believe not in reincarnation, because I never heard of it. When we live here in Babylon, they don't speak upon reincarnation though. In Babylon, they have your mind thinking that all you do is raise your kids, get a job, buy a house, pay taxes, and then you die. Simple.
Boring ass shit.
Yeah. So Babylon doesn't speak upon reincarnation, So that's the thing, and like I said, our people are supposed to know about reincarnation, but they have to believe in that. Like I said, I was someone too that I didn't believe before because I thought that was just for the Indians, the reincarnation, like the spirits going to animals. So I was just like, man,
So John, it's got to be difficult for you. I mean, for a non-believer, the conversation, continuing to have the conversation is important.
Time for people to change their minds one way or the other with